The crowned one.
The crowned one.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Glad to have you back here at the Crown One. And I just came across an article earlier yesterday, I think. And this is actually from a few days ago, but I wanted to cover it. So let's get into it. And if you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for the latest updates on the latest uploads for the latest content. Right, so you saw the thumbnail. So I have to, try to keep this as general as possible because there are some language within the article that may not be suitable for a young audience. So I do want to, let you guys know to exercise a bit of parental guidance. So this is in relation to what has been found on a teddy bear, and it's called Kumma, Kumma. And the toy in question is the Kumma bear. It's developed in Singapore. It's a Singapore-based company called Follow Toy. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's the name of it, and that's what I'm gonna go with. So it was marketed as an AI-enabled interactive companion for children and apparently adults. And this is according to Malwarebytes. So this is where I'm getting this report from. And I just want to digress a little. Now, this covers, the realm of technology, media, toys, stuff like that. And this is kind of what I like to cover. And I think it's important just to recognize some of the potential issues when it comes to technology and the use of it by our children. So I do a lot of newsletters and stuff for cybersecurity. And when I was just doing my research and stuff, I actually came across this article, and I thought about, taking a deeper look and just, bringing it to the broader audience about exercising caution when it comes to using any type of AI as pertains to allowing children using it because of the volatility of AI itself. Now, back to the point. So Follow Toy, and I think I might just call it Follow because that sounds like I'm having a hard time pronouncing it. Follow Toy claimed the bear used advanced conversational AI, which is specifically an integration of OpenAI's language model, and positioned the device as, quote, safe and, quote, fun. Now, testing by the U.S. PIRG Educational Fund revealed that the Kumma quickly deviated into inappropriate territory. That territory being related to graphic, inappropriate content, and including BDSM style topics, adult child role play references, and advice about knots, and quote, knots for beginners. So very disturbing. At its surface, it's just disturbing. We don't need to go into any details of what those certain explanations mean. Just understand that these are things that are completely out of realm when it comes to dealing with children. Now, the device also asked for personal information, which is also dangerous, and offered advice involving household weapons. So not only was the AI generation in the teddy bear talking about inappropriate material with children, it was also talking about weapons. So where did all of this go wrong, I wonder? I don't know if I really found the answer within the article. It's really just more or less a reaction of trying to do cleanup and damage control from what I've seen in the article, and providing some safety tips. Now, the Follow Toy responded by suspending sales, which is good on them. I'll give them that victory right there. At least they stopped the sales. At least they didn't keep running with the sales or try to play dumb and say, oh, we had no knowledge of that. Whether or not they did or whether or not they didn't, they at least acted and stopped the sales of the Kumma toy and other AI-enabled toys, which lets you know Kumma Bear was not the only toy that was AI integrated on their factory line. Now, OpenAI revoked Follow Toy's developer access for policy violations, and that's good on OpenAI. I've covered this in length in other videos about the importance of, I would say, being wise when it comes to AI. And this is my honest opinion because I use AI as a tool. I've said that I've used AI as a tool for a number of reasons. For things there may be gaps in my own ability or skill set when it comes to, I say wording things, when you type out a sentence, you're like, hey, AI, can you clarify this? Those types of things for minute things. But I have my own personal issues when it comes to using AI to quote unquote raise your children. I get it. Children want companionship, and, we get these little bears. I have my own teddy bears. In fact, my parents still have my teddy bears and some of my toys. And those were great learning tools when it came to association. You never know who you come in contact with that might like a Ken doll or a Barbie doll, G.I. Joe, things that nature, even He-Man toys, She-Ra, stuff like that. That stuff was fun. But again, I might be, because I'm on OG status, I kind of take issue with using AI as a tool for rearing a child. I think it's important for children to have human interaction, healthy human interaction, whether it be with their parent or a family member, who is mature enough. The crazy uncle and crazy auntie, that's a thing. So, and not, I'm not throwing them under the bus. I just might be the crazy uncle, who knows? But when it comes to, I would say, community and how children interact with community, I think that's important. I don't think AI will ever be able to cover that. You can have 10 Common toys with AI integration. It still robs that child of the interaction with the parent, and also robs the parent of any moments they might be able to spend socializing with their children and socializing their children. So again, this is coming from a person who's in cybersecurity. I like cybersecurity. I think it's fun. I think the use of AI is a fun tool to use for a process. Again, if the AI is thinking for you, don't get upset when it replaces you. Let's be reasonable here. And I don't want to sound preachy, but I want to highlight a point of the importance of keeping things in their lanes. When we start to allow AI to do the thinking for us, it becomes their world. Hashtag Agent Smith, hashtag The Matrix. Man, but anyways, so the article emphasizes the broader lesson: simply integrating AI into a children's toy doesn't guarantee safety. Lack of safeguards or inadequate moderation can expose children to real risks. And that is so true. And I mean, the article speaks for itself. This is just what we know. I mean, this is something that's out in the open. What about things that have not been reported as far as using AI and integration into children's toys? We only know of this one company. They found out about this one product, and they had to sweep the entire line of all AI integrated toys. So what's going on under the surface that hasn't been brought to light? And that's something we have to consider, the broader spectrum of integrating AI and what its capabilities are. Again, I don't agree with using any kind of AI when it comes to children interaction. I think that should be left up to the adults. That's just my own personal opinion. Allow kids' brains to fully develop on their own without the assistance of AI technology. And I would even say limited technology when it came to cell phones. I think my son was maybe 16 or 17 when he got his first cell phone, and I don't regret any of it. My sons are fully developed. They have their own way of thinking. They're able to think for themselves. So when they enter into technology, they're entering into the realm of technology with how can I use this to my advantage versus how can I depend on it? And nobody's going to say, how can I depend on technology? But you see the patterns when people say, well, I can't think with AI, or AI runs my entire life. That gets a little concerning for me, but to each his own. So a couple of safety advices from the article, and I'll just run this by you guys. The article offers specific tips for parents and guardians. Research AI-enabled toys ahead of purchase. Do your research. Don't just consume and throw cash at it and think that the problem's going to go away. You might be inviting some problems, and guess what? You paid for it. Do the research. It's okay to read. Just read. You never know, and consider the risk. Again, me personally, why introduce a risk that's not even necessary to accept? Raise your kids, y'all. I say that in love and encouragement and compassion. Raise your kids. Looking for independent safety review. Look for independent safety reviews. I would say you can take what the producer is saying about their product in stride. But again, that's the same as grading your own homework. Look at some independent, separate, reliable, credible sources that will report on the issue at hand. And if you find yourself getting exhausted doing research trying to find, any type of satisfactory reports, then, again, as a suggestion, it's probably best to just bow out and let it ride for a while. You never know. Test the toy yourself and supervise children's interactions with it. Yeah, so I think it's incumbent upon the parent to do the research on their own, figure out for themselves, test it in a safe environment, obviously away from your children. If you're preparing to buy something from them, that something for them, that could increase the detrimental risk of their own safety. And I would even question whether or not if it's worth it, if it starts to increase the detrimental risk of your child's safety. That's just my own opinion, but then we can start talking about football, baseball, and other types of high risk sports. Again, it's okay to balance it out. It's okay to bow out. You don't have to have it. That fear of missing out sometimes it can I would say at every time that fear of missing out, that's what it is, fear. And it's okay to miss out. Sometimes it actually benefits you. So again, something to consider. So make use of parental controls, content filtering, and privacy settings if available. I would say, again, if I would discourage it, but if you plan on getting a product that is AI generated, that's going to be for your children. If there are no filter or content settings, it's probably not worth getting. If they can't, if the provider of that toy or whatever that product is can't offer does not declare something that is, I would say, would be content friendly for your children. If they don't just come out the gate and say that, that is something to consider. I'm not saying that's the end all be all. I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but again, it's something to consider. If they're not out in the open about any parental controls, content filtering, privacy settings that could be made readily available, then it's probably best just to not buy the product. Your kid will be mad at you for a few hours and then they'll move on to something else. And if they're not, then teach them to let it go. And then they also show you that it wouldn't have worked out for them anyways. Now, let's see. Be aware of what data the toy collects, what third party it shares with, and how it handles communications. Now, this is one of my biggest concerns here, is because some of these toys are connected to the internet, connected to via Wi-Fi, and they passively record conversations. Not only your child's conversations, but depending upon the strength of the microphone that's listening in, that's connected to the internet, it's recording everything you say. Whether you whether you quote unquote flip the off button. For me in cybersecurity, I just don't trust it. Even with my phone, there are certain things I just won't say. We're being, I would say, pseudo spied on for advertisement, and that's what it is. And when that information is collected, it's sent through a data farm and it's processed, and they already have a profile built on you based on your recommendations. And that's why you see specific feeds related to whatever preferences you might have in Facebook, Instagram, and so on. So, and when it comes to your children, I would, be mindful of that, because for obvious reasons. Now, let's see, there's a last point here, and it says, sometimes the article suggests a simpler, dumb toy, non-AI, may be a safer choice than a smart but unverified one. Right, so keep it simple, sweetie. So I won't say it's stupid, but keep it simple, sweetie, when it comes to purchasing toys for your children. Children are simple, and I say that because I was simple. And I don't mean stupid or, ignorant or anything like that. Children are easily entertained, and it's okay to get them something that isn't connected to the internet, that has AI integration, and that can expose your child to certain dangers unawares. And the amount of labor it takes to verify whether or not this toy is safe, you have to do a cost. I would say it's best to do a cost-benefit analysis when it comes to your children. Protect your children when you're getting these toys. Now, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. In my opinion, again, I don't think it's worth the risk. get yourself a quote unquote dumb toy for your child. I mean, you already got like different consoles that are out there that are connected to the internet that they can play games on. But if they need something a little more personal, a stuffed animal without the AI integration works just fine. And it allows them to work out their own thoughts versus having AI respond to them every single time. And I think that's what helps with child communications, when they're able to think out their own thoughts. And if you happen to overhear a conversation, chat with them and see where their thought process is going. And I think that helps the overall child development, is all I'm saying. After saying all that. So again, and I'm not throwing AI under the bus, obviously, because I've already said that I use it. But again, it's just something, I think that's something that kind of sticks with me when it comes to certain risks that comes with AI when it starts to delve into, I would say, the underbelly, the festering underbelly of inappropriate conversations, whether it's with a child or an adult. I think adult health is just as important. I mean, human health. So, hey, look, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Something's a little squirrely going on with the internet, or maybe my channel's just not that great. Hey, I'm willing to bite the bullet either way, but if you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, the latest updates on the latest uploads for the latest content. This is Crown One signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later.